Happy Friday, everybody. Stocks of young mining companies and explorers, they can 10x, they can bring you life-changing money, but in most cases, you lose the money, a lot of it. Since the commodity sector is taking a breather today, we're gonna look at the selection process for young mining stocks and explorers, how to find the big winners, how to avoid the fraud and the losers. And there are many of them out there, and there are only going to be more when the commodity super cycle kicks into the next level. And obviously we're going to talk about the uranium stocks. I'm going to show you the charts of 2 uranium stocks in Australia and see what's going on there. Very, very interesting. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days and weeks. Okay. I'm starting to get more and more questions in the comments about, hey, what do you think about company X and Explorer Y? And I get it. I understand this, why people ask this. It makes a lot of sense. I know more about the commodity sector than probably 90% of the people working on Wall Street and in the financial sector. But I would also not say that I'm a super expert on all commodities, but I don't need to be. And this is where things get really interesting, because there's a second layer to it, and this is, do you know how to trade, swing trade, and invest in young mining companies in a stock market cycle? And that I do. Because I was there 20 years ago when we had the last super cycle in commodities, and the commodities and the commodity stocks, and especially the explorers, were going bananas, through the roof, crypto style performances, and also crypto style 2022 performances, where the stocks completely imploded, where the companies turned out to be complete fraud, or badly managed, or the management was just not able to deliver on all the big promises they made. So, first things first. Every explorer company that you see will tell you glowingly how fantastic their perspectives are and how great things are looking. And that they're all going to tell you they're going to sit on an elephant. If you don't know what an elephant is, you definitely need to do your homework in the commodity sector. Okay, that's kind of like the test right here. Little test from me to you. Do you know what an elephant is? An elephant is a huge, huge commodity project with potentially huge resources. So they're going to sit on an elephant, or if they cannot sell you on the idea of an elephant because the size of the project just doesn't support that, then they usually sell you on the grades. All right? Oh, it's going to have fantastic rates that are way higher, and our production cost is going to be so low that we're going to make all this money. It all sounds great on paper. So I was at a conference last week. I saw this company there, had never heard about them. I find them interesting, but since I don't know anything about them, now, over this weekend, I'm gonna have to do my research on the company, on the project, and most importantly, on the management. Think about investing like this. You and I have never met. If I come up to you at a bar and tell you, I got a great project in Sri Lanka for gold mixed with uranium, wrapped in a copper bubble, right? Would you give me your money? Cash right there. I sure hope you don't, but that's what we're talking about. What investing really is. You're gonna hand your money over to somebody you have never met, solely based on the promises that they make in the presentations, right? And the presentations, again, remember, those are the highlight reels, right? If you're into American sports, the presentation that you see on the homepage of the company, that is basically the highlight tape that the players send out to the NFL teams trying to get an invite, right? These companies are sending out the presentation to you to get an invite into your pocket. So when you look at the presentations, and this is the first big tip you need, what's important is not what it says inside. That's cute, that's nice. We know that is all dolled up to be the best the company possibly can be. What's interesting is what is not in the presentation, because that is what management doesn't want you to see. So, for example, they talk in length about the shortage of a commodity, supply and demand, but they barely talk about their project. That is what you have to take away from this. Why are they not talking about the project? That's a red flag for me, right there. Or if they're talking in length about the project, but they don't talk about the cash situation, why not doing that? Well, probably because they don't have any cash, or they have a lot of debt, or they have to do a capital raise very soon, diluting the shareholders. So when you look at the presentation, look at it from two levels. And man, I'm running out of time. So we're going to do a second part on this, because this is really important. This will save you a lot of money. This will make you a lot of money. I know you guys all want to see the charts. You want to see like, ooh, it broke the downtrend, the uptrend. But these type of videos are actually the ones that are really valuable for you. Look at the presentations. You should, because you need to get information. Learn what they say about the projects. Great. But then look at the presentation with a critical eye and say, what are they not telling me? And that, what they don't tell you, that is what you need to dive into then and dig deeper and figure out what the situation is. Okay, I promised you we're going to talk about uranium a little bit. So let's go. Global X Uranium Fund, it's down today after a strong uptick yesterday. So really not much happening, right? Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, same thing. The interesting thing with the physical uranium yesterday was, look at this, I always tell you, pay attention to the wicks. They tell you a lot, right? Look at this yesterday with a huge surge up, big wick, it all sold off. What happened today keeps continuing selling off. So let's talk about two stocks that are starting to get interesting and that I look at and that fit what we were just talking about, because they're two of the big success stories of the uranium sector, right? So everybody will tell you about the big success stories and say like, this one company, it did 1,000, 10x, 20x, 30x, whatever. Yeah, but how many of them went to zero or are penny stocks now? Now these two, Boss Energy and right here, Paladin Energy, are two of the success stories. So let's take a look at this. Paladin, I like it, right? It broke the uptrend, the short-term uptrend. You see it right here. It sold off. It broke through support like it's butter. It's at the next support zone right now. But what you see below, as you can tell, is, look at this. We are reaching the long-term uptrend from 2020. So we have a double support zone coming up. Now this makes this interesting for me. If we can pick this up somewhere around here, maybe a classical, it dips below this support zone, triggers all the stops, pushes out the retail investors, and then we can buy it here, that would make Paladin, which is a very good fundamental company, very interesting to buy. Boss Energy. Look at this support that we are reaching right now, the blue zone, this goes all the way back to 2021. Really, really strong support zone. So this is an interesting buying opportunity that we are nearing. We're not there yet, right? If you want to be a good swing trader, you want to be patient and wait for your times to attack. I want to wait for Boss Energy to move into the support zone. We have an open gap right here around 290. I would expect this one to get closed, and then we're talking about quite an interesting zone to invest. That's it for today. We're going to talk more about Explorer stocks because that is really, really important, especially if you were not in the market during the last commodity super cycle. A lot of retail investors will do a lot of mistakes because it always happens the same way in this commodity super cycle, and they lose a lot of money. And a lot of it, some of it you can't avoid, right? Sometimes there's a beautiful project and they do the drilling and everything looks great, and then they just hit a weird rock formation. And I've had this before actually in my own portfolio with a gold company in Colombia. Was doing great, everything looked great. They built the mine, everything checks out, and then they start drilling, and then they hit a completely new rock formation that they didn't see coming, and the whole price model of the mine blew up in flames, and I lost a ton of money. So that can happen, that's just bad luck. But let's try, if we can just filter out the bad companies, the frauds, and the companies that will never really go anywhere, we will already be way ahead of most retail investors and avoid unnecessary losses. Now, let's have a good weekend. What is necessary is that you enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.